I'm sorry. We're good? Okay. If you need a green screen, I'll turn around. We're good. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Goose Me. Been waiting all week. I've been waiting all week to say that as a former middle school principal. Definitely something I was looking forward to. So welcome to Goose Me, gamifying the classroom. I'm going to read what you've heard a few times already, but I have to, so bear with me. Please turn your cell phone ringers off. Fire regulations require all attendees have a chair. No standing in aisles, sitting on the floor. Please do not use chairs for others' belongings. Looks like we're going to be a pretty full session, so if you do have a space next to you and we see someone walking, if you give them a wave or something, give them a seat. If you're plugging devices into wall outlets, be in mind people are moving around. Your devices may be damaged. Act 48 is available. No codes are distributed. You're able to submit your Act 48 online via the evaluation process. You can find that in the Attendee Service Center. If you can't find that, I have a QR code that should work. You can see me. I'll be sitting in the back. And with that, I will turn it over to Eric.
Thanks, Joe. Does anybody have a Snuggie? Because it is freezing in here. Holy God. I got in here a little bit before Alice Keeler finished because I wanted to get prepared, and my teeth started chattering. And I was like, no, I can't do this during this presentation. So I started looking out the window, and I think that's where it is. So I'm going to stand over here because the freeze is going backward. As I start talking today, if you want to get into your app store and download Goose Chase, we're going to actually go on to Goose Chase in a little bit. It would be just helpful to have that app on your iPhone, your Android, or your iPad. That would be great. Good morning and welcome to Gamifying the Classroom. Most of our students are sitting at home today, probably right now playing some sort of game. I talked to my son, who's 13 years old. He was up bright and early this morning. He went out and cleaned off the satellite dish because he wanted to watch a little bit of SportsCenter this morning. Came back in and I said, "What are you doing, Aiden?" This was 7:30. I said, "Are you on Fortnite?" Or "Absolutely, Dad. I'm on Fortnite and I'll probably be on Fortnite all day because my wife's at work." I said, "Aiden, do me a favor, do some things around the house. Get some things done." He goes, "But Dad, Fortnite's great. I'm having so much fun with it." I said, "Aiden, do me a favor. Don't spend any money on Fortnite." This is what our kids are doing. We have to bring it into the classroom and we have to engage our students with it. My name is Eric Whitmer. I'm an instructional technology coach down in Snacktown, Hanover, Pennsylvania. We have Clips and we have Snyder's Pretzels and Chips. So a great place to work. I'm originally from outside Philadelphia. Before being an instructional technology coach, I was a 5th grade teacher. I was also a 4th grade teacher and then a K-2 learning support teacher. My first year though, I was a kindergarten teacher. My 9th day was September 11th. So I'll never forget that day. I had most of my students outside of Philadelphia in my afternoon kindergarten. Parents didn't come, kids didn't come that day because most of the parents were up in New York. So that's a day I'll never ever forget and most of us will never forget. There's my Twitter handle, EW43. 43 was my soccer number when I was in high school. I have emojis throughout, Hitmojis. The first one I thought of with Get Ready for Takeoff. Top Gun is my favorite movie. Goose Me. Goose is the most famous goose ever. So that's why I put that one there. Instructional technology coach, we're always helping teachers. We're always helping each other. Teachers are also helping us. So I put that one there as well. What is Goose Chase? Goose Chase is a platform creating educational and engaging scavenger hunts. So I asked you to download the app because we're going to go on an excursion. We're actually going to go up and move. Because we're teachers, we like to be moving. We don't like to be sitting for hours on hours and hours on end. So we're going to actually get up and leave in a couple of minutes. But you can see there just some things that you can do with it. I first learned about Goose Chase 3 years ago. We had our freshmen come in for the first day of school at our high school. So our 10th through 12th grade teachers had an in-service for that day. Our gifted support teacher put on a Goose Chase, 3-hour Goose Chase for our 10th through 12th grade teachers. I never laughed so much in my life with the high school staff after they came back and we looked at their submissions. And we looked at what they had done. They had gone out on a huge chase all around, so that was great. I'm going to turn this off in a second. So how does it all work? You're going to create the class, you're going to create the chase. You're going to go to goosechase.com. That's going to drive me nuts as I'm in the background. Let's turn that off. There we go. That works better. Sorry about that. Okay, so you're going to go to goosechase.com. There's a public version and there's also an education version. So if you've already created an account on Goose Chase, you can convert that over to an education version. And it gives you a little bit more freedom with teams and things, which I'll get to later on in the presentation. So the first step, you're going to go ahead and you're going to create the game. The game that I've created today is called Pete and See. Very simple. It's something that you want the kids to be able to find. The next step is to set up missions. Missions are things, or the hunt that you're actually going to go on. What is it that you want to accomplish? What is it that the students are going to try and capture? So there's 3 different things that can be done. The first thing that is often done is you can do a photo or a video can be taken to capture or show evidence of what it is that you've learned. You can have a text response that can have unlimited things that can be done with it, or you can have specific things that the kids don't get the answer correct until they move on, until they put the actual response in there. And you can also have a GPS check-in. So those are the 3 different types of things that you can put in there, and you can see I have some examples down below. Once you have everything set up, then you're going to go ahead and you're going to start the mission. This is exactly what the app looks like. Very, very simple to monitor, but very, very simple to work through. As the kids are out and about in the Goose Chase, you running the game are going to be tracking and reviewing the progress. So as you're out running through the lodge today, I'm going to be up here looking at all the progress and awarding points and doing everything. I'm not going to really tell you a whole lot about how it's going to work, how the app's going to do it. Why? Because you're going to be able to figure it out. And the whole idea here is because if you want your students to do something like this, you need to have some guidance of what it is that they're going to be doing when it's in your classroom. This is a picture that I captured of students actually on a goose chase last fall. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to play. We're going to get up and we're going to go move around. All right? Okay, so once you open up the app, you have two options. You can either play as a guest or you can create an account. For right now, just play as a guest. What's great about that is if you have younger students, they can play as a guest and not have to create an account. When I first did this 2 years ago with first grade class, I created 7 dummy Gmail accounts. GooseChase1, GooseChase2 at gmail.com, and then I logged in for the kids and then had them join the teams later. Now they have the play as a guest option, which is great. Now, once you go and you click Get Play as a Guest, you have 2 options to join a game. You can, one, search for the game. So for this example, you can search for P&C in the search box and it should come up. Or, something newer is you can put this code in the code box and you'll find that as well. So the last step before we get started, under most of your seats, not all, because I didn't anticipate 166 people being in the room. So under most of your seats, right underneath, and now look, I'm going to pull this chair. This part of the front of the chair, there's a little piece of paper that has an emblem on it. Okay, before I get started, listen. My choice of teams. Notice that I don't have the Yankees up here. Just notice my first 2 teams. And there's only one college football team in Pennsylvania. Okay, before I get you started, listen carefully. Okay, here we go. As I get ready to start the game, one of the things that I'm going to let you know now is the minimum time frame for a game in Goose Chase is 30 minutes. If I have you go out there for 30 minutes, I'll never get you back. And I want to show you how to put this all together and everything else. So we're going to limit it to about 15 minutes. You're going to see in a typical classroom of 20, 24 students, I would break up the teams and say Phillies come over here, Eagles come over here, Penn State come over here, and get them all together so that they could, one, divide and conquer, or two, stay together as a team. So I'm not going to have you do all that right now. So you're just going to go off and you're going to go. Does everybody have questions before I send you out? Sure thing.
Are we going as a team?
No, you can go, you can find people as a team if you'd like. Make sure you keep notifications on, because I'll send you notifications of when we're coming back. 15 minutes. But you can't, the minimum's 30.
Okay.
So I'm going to cut it off at 15 minutes. That's the idea. I'll send a message saying come on back. Are you ready? Go ahead. You don't have to do the missions in order.
I don't have anything yet. Oh, here we go. Where did you put that? Saying submission failed. Last time she's in California. Anybody on the Phillies talking about? No, I'm going to go that way. It seems to be quicker. Down the side aisle. Yeah, correct. Yeah, I don't know. Fireplace shelf. Yeah, the fireplace she said so. And, you know. Okay.
What do I add then?
Where it says answer.
The evidence? She's from Alaska, but it's not and she learned to drive in Seattle.
Right.
So do I.
And she has 5 children.
Really, we only need one of those, don't we? I don't know.
We have
I just put CA for California in it. Me too. I did the same thing. Yeah, just put the CA because it's not interesting. Okay, put it down. Wait, they're all and I put it Friday. That is fun. Perfect. Because I have 37 kids, so I didn't have enough hard. They're not coding in that.
Take some pictures. That's the thing that drives me nuts is that school in 2019 schools are not
Not admin.
right.
And mine's just church.
Oh, absolutely. Amen. Middle button. Top middle. Just watch everyone else on.
I was say you're a mom. But thanks for being
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so.
I am the original troubleshooter. Where was no brother in here?
That's the only thing that I heard. Or shut down the control.
Alright, we're in.
Oh, you're way taller than me.
Oh, we're recording a video, even better. You upload a video, cool. So you get a bonus point for that.
I was at the thing. She said she was going to come.
Okay, so with a team, somebody else might have already submitted. So that's why
I go out.
Right, because you know, you go documents now, and you go and you see
So if somebody from my team already does it, then I can't submit it?
correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright.
See something you learned.
Okay. Listen, I just ran down the escalator the wrong way and videotaped it, and that was pretty fun. I gotta get my...
That is a skill learned.
Listen, I had to hop off because I'm pretty, like, I'm short, so I was, like, literally diving off, and I'm like, I wonder if the hotel will make it around.
I should have said be careful.
Use discretion. Alright.
Still not working?
That's so awesome that they're not the same either. Like the teams don't have the same stuff. So that's genius. Then it keeps everybody from chasing after the one kid that knows what's going on.
See how it's just spinning? I should see some. I should see those.
Can I ask a question?
Sure thing.
What if, doesn't Alice Keeler live in California?
Yep.
So how come it's not? So it only accepts exactly what you put in?
So the other thing is that somebody else already submitted that.
Yeah, I did it when I was actually still in the round.
Yeah.
And it kept telling me I had it.
So I might have put in CA, or I might have put in California.
Is that I typed in California?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
You did CA, it worked.
No.
Does it let you do multiple answers?
It does.
So like if you know that they'll spell it wrong, you can even
Correct.
put like even
Correct.
misspelling.
So then this will update, like, I don't, these are the ones that are left because these are all the ones that are done.
Yep. Nice to see you not tweet down.
Quick question.
Yes.
We're traveling about, but I teach younger students and I wouldn't want them roaming the building. Is this something that you feel could be done in a classroom, a single contained classroom setting, or like the hallway, or
So what grade do you teach?
K through 3? They can't walk around by themselves.
No, they can't. So you have parent volunteers.
Okay.
That they could take. We have
Do it
dudes.
for a field trip.
You could do it for a field trip.
I'm a
That's what we're gonna
specialist,
talk.
so I'm not a home teacher. So
What about a
with
gym or an
K
auditorium?
to 3.
instructional technology.
Okay.
So
The other thing is that you could do like a tour of your classroom with the different evidence of your classroom.
okay, because we have like a 2-to-1 iPad ratio.
Yeah, so partners.
Okay. I'm just thinking of what's practical. Because I'd love for them to walk around, but I can't do that.
Parent volunteers
Okay.
is huge.
Yeah.
If you can steal parents.
Or maybe teaming up with another specialist.
What's the building? Is it just 3 to 3? Okay, I was going to say older kids. Third graders.
Not these 5th graders. Yeah.
It depends on the class.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if anything, I can also share it out, and then if they have a field trip or anything. Okay. Don't be offended if I'm not, because I get the gist and this, and I'm being lazy.
Oh, that's okay. Boy or girl?
Boys.
Boys. Oh boy. When are you due?
May 14th.
Awesome.
Are all these possible?
Say it again.
Are all of these possible?
I believe so. In a candy shop.
Where we're going?
Yeah. Just the disposable ones?
She said that's by container.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Darn.
We walked over, I'm like, and people are looking, I'm like, do you have anything that brings it to $1.30?
I thought it's one of those things that you could add like to the baggie and then you weigh it.
No, she goes by container.
Oh,
So
man.
that one's not going to work for you.
Oh, jeez. I'll send something out.
My other one, somebody already did it.
Did they?
No, not that one. For my team, I'm just looking for the one. But the phone number one was going to see what your phone number was.
717-451-8646.
Eric, I'm really sad. The candy one is not going to work out.
I know, that's what I'm sending you a message.
Yeah, I just.
Oh, you're updating it? Listen, I've been hardcore. That was not on it. Oh, then we must be on the same team if we're on the same one.
What team are
The
you
Eagles,
in?
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all we have left is those two.
Those two.
Yeah. So if one person goes, that's fine. I did the Sapphire one, and I was like videotaping myself, and as I'm like telling about it, it just cut me off. So I was like, alright, well that's good. I'm gonna have to work.
How long after did it cut you off?
Like maybe 10 seconds. It's pretty, it's pretty short. Yeah, I barely got it all in, but you'll get the point.
15's the max, which is great.
Yes, wait, one of these is me. This is totally me running. One of these is me running.
Which
now.
team are you on?
The Eagles.
Nice.
Oh, that might be mine. No, I'm going down.
I just watched someone do the handstand.
Oh, I
Maybe
know.
you can help it. I got
Oh my god, I almost killed myself doing that.
I know, I just did a text
I
the
was
same thing.
like, I didn't know. I have another question. So if you're using this in education and you want everybody to compete every mission because it's a learning tool, is there a way to set it up that they don't go away? So like some of the ones that as they're being completed, they go away, and then it would be like some of the kids that process, at different grades wouldn't be able to.
As you can set up, so right now we have 10 teams.
Yeah.
You can also do it individual. So then it forces each kid to do it by themselves.
Yeah, but they go away.
Not if they do it individually. And you're doing it, I'm doing it, he's doing it.
So someone on my team.
These are the
got
teams.
it.
Yeah,
Some of
somebody
the
on your
team
team
got
got
it.
it. It's a team effort.
It's a team effort. You can also do it individually.
Okay, that makes sense now. So, okay.
And you can see the ones that are completed.
So these are the only ones left for my
Correct.
team.
For your team.
And you can see the ones that are
I'm trying to figure out how I can do it.
Got it. That's okay. That makes a lot more sense.
Watch it for grade. So
See, I'm the one
right
that
now
needs a
I'm
little
just
extra
a little
time.
small group math. I'm just trying to figure out how it works.
I was thinking that
I mean, what happens is your base you have to use your webcam and come back and type the evidence selfie with your webcam. It might be a little more squealy 30-minute sessions. It might be a little tight.
Oh my god. Exactly. Yep.
And most of
So that was those people one.
I don't bother keeping track of each hour. I just Lordy, Lord. Yeah, I was going to say.
I think I inserted the words at least in mine. That shop will love you. What is this? 814. I don't have that one. That's not good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, here we go. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate that. I was afraid everybody would go and then not come back. So I have not stopped the game officially yet. And the reason I didn't stop the game is because I want to kind of show you what it looks like on the teacher end when games are actually running. So you can see that. So right now, my game is still live, and you can see that it is still live. I have what's called the Educator Plus account. I'll go over that in a little bit, but I think it's $50 a year. It allows you to run more than one game live at a time. With the free Educator account, you run one game live, and that's it. Which I think if you're running one classroom at a time, great. That works. So you have the duration here, and you can set that, and you saw that when we were going with it. If I'm going to work right down from the left to the right, this is the game information. So I was able to upload an image. For younger kids, when they're searching, before they had that code, this was really important because they wanted to see the picture that I was showing up on the screen. So for first and second graders, it was great because they actually saw the image instead of just searching for words. So this is the name of the game. I also put the game location because you can search by location because there are games out there that are by location. And then you have to put a little description in. So that's pretty self-explanatory. The missions part These are all the missions that I put together. The difference, this here is a video / picture. This is a text answer. So that's the difference there. And then somewhere in here, here's my GPS check-in. So there's the 3 different types. Now if I wanted to edit, let's just say up that, we're going to edit this one here. I can hit edit, and this is the way you build them. And I'll go back up and I'll show you. You have to give it a title. You have to kind of describe what it is, and then you give a point value. And you can adjust the point values. So I can click in here, and I can custom. I think it goes from 100 to 1,000, and everything in between, and I can custom. Once I get back up to start a new game, I'll show you that. And I just hit Save Changes. Participants. There are some questions about participants. There are 2 things that you can do with this. You can create teams. So because I have the Educator Plus account, I can create 10 teams. And that's the different teams that you were on. But you can also go with individual students. So I could have, if I wanted to, sent you out as individuals, and you could have created your missions. Some of you were panicking a little bit because you went to submit something, and it said submission failed. If you looked in your completed mission, that might have meant that somebody already submitted that from your team. It also might have meant that you didn't get the correct answer. And I think for the Alice Keeler one, as I was glancing through, I put California with a lowercase c. So if you were putting with a capital C, that's what the hiccup was there. But somebody came up and said, so CA was the other one that I put on there.
But not California.
But not California with a lowercase c worked. So if you're working with those younger students or students that really can't spell, because we use Google all the time, you have to try and guess what they're going to put in there for the answers for them to move on and get the submission correct.
So it's obviously case sensitive. Could you put like multiple accepted answers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That was a trick question. Yep. So you can say none on that, not correct spelling.
Right. So in game. So we're actually still in game. This is the activity feed. So you can see here, the Pittsburgh Steelers took this with an employee, and that was a selfie. So they were awarded 200 points. And I can scroll through all of these and look. So the candy one, as I was doing this yesterday morning before the keynote, I was walking around and I was looking and I saw the candy machines, and I just assumed you could get like $1.34 worth of candy. And that was my whole idea with that. When the high school did it, they had to go out and get exactly 11 cents of gas. And then show the receipt for the gas.
So it had to be exactly $1.34.
Correct. Yep. So what I can do here on the submissions is I can click the gear and I can add bonus points. So I can go plus 100 and I can say why. And then I can hit add bonus. I could also take points away. And it would do the same thing. So because a lot of you were coming up with questions, I didn't get to add bonuses and things like that, but that's how that would easily work. The other thing is that sometimes kids, they're not happy with their answer, and they want to resubmit it. So if I click on that gear, I can hit delete submission, and then it would open up that submission again for them.
But you have to delete it for them, they can't.
Correct, they can't delete it. Yep. So I can go through all the activity feeds. What will happen, just like Facebook and Twitter, it'll say 5 more activities, 5 more missions have been completed, and you have to refresh it. And then it would drop it down again. I can take a quick glance at the leaderboard, and I can see that the Pirates, probably because I gave them a couple more points. Now, the leaderboard part, it's not only the leaderboard, but what I can also do is I sent all of you a message saying something about the candy not being right. So I can come through here and I can send individual teams messages, or I can send the entire group a message. So at the high school level, when we do this, the staff is informed of what's going on. But they also know to inform the teacher that if there's a certain group that's being a little rowdy, they're to call the teacher, email the teacher and tell them, and then that way they can send a message to that particular team. Because we're trying to honor those kids and allow them to have a little bit of reign in the classroom. We can remove a team. We talk about those angry middle school kids, or the adolescents that we teach in middle school. And they just aren't following directions, and they're taking selfies, and they're on Snapchat, and they're doing everything that they're not supposed to be doing. So we can actually remove the team. And then they would get something saying that they'd be removed. So this page, the leaderboard part's important. And then again, this is all the submissions, by submission. So the Alice in Wonderland, if I clicked on it, I could see all 10 submissions. Defend the Den, I could look at all 10 submissions. With the fun here.
That means all 10 teams did it.
Correct. Yep.
Well, we also found out that if like our team completes it, the mission, it won't disappear from our list, or will it?
It should go on the completed side.
Okay.
It should go to the completed side. So this is the great part now, is you kind of reflect and you come back and you talk to the kids about it, and I'll show you some questions we do, but you also look at the submissions. So this is the best part of this whole presentation, because now we can look at some of the submissions.
I made it all the way up. I just want you to know.
See, so things start to come out now. This one we don't see anything.
Going up today. Here she is. Oh, she did, yes. You gotta get the hang of it. It's a learning curve. Stuff it all the way It's hard to do.
So for some of it, you see there was a picture, and I said take a video, so I could take points away for that, because you can follow directions. I could delete it if I wanted to. So those are some of the things. So you can go through and you can do those types of things on there and have a lot of fun with it. Let me get back to my presentations, just so I get through everything that we want to get through here. I'm going to jump back to that.
Did we have all the same missions?
You did have all the same missions, yep. So these are some of the questions that you can ask the students as they come back and reflect. If you ever done breakout boxes,
yes.
I really think that a lot of these questions reflect a lot of what we do in breakout boxes. What I've done with a lot of the reflection is I actually have the kids do a Flipgrid. The younger kids love doing Flipgrid, plus you get all the kids that respond. When we do it whole group, sometimes those kids don't always respond. So I'll pick 2 or 3 questions to ask students. Okay, so here, sorry.
I was just wondering, is your PowerPoint thing on something that we can?
Yes, on every slide except for this one, the address is on
Your
there.
bit.ly.
Yep.
It's not coming up.
You have to log in. It forces you to create a copy. Yep. So for this, what you're going to do is, we were talking earlier about how in 2019 we still have classrooms that we're not allowing kids to have their cell phones out. This is a Poll Everywhere extension. I didn't write the script. I didn't do anything. I downloaded the extension into my Google Slides. What you can do is you can text 37607 with the message to Eric Whitmer 819, and then how would you use this in your classroom? What's one thing that you see yourself using? And then what should happen is the stream should start to come through here. And I didn't write the script, so hopefully it'll work.
Was first place determined, like, does it judge by which team finishes the assignments the fastest?
The points. So I probably added a couple of extra points to the Pyrex or something, because I was really good with the first 2 minutes, and then I was answering questions. So that's how that was probably started.
I never looked at that.
Question?
Yeah. One of our PEs was wondering about GPS and internet. If they're out on campus, how does it function on an iPad without connectivity?
So what? I think it will submit it, and then once you come back inside the internet access, I know that's how it works for pictures and things like that. But the GPS, I don't know if they actually have to check in. Yeah, so that may not work. But all the other ones, you submit them, and once they come back to the internet, I can submit them for the game. It is a K, not a C, and 2 T's, and not an H. Thank my mom and dad for that. So here's one that, not sure if I can trust my 5th graders to run around without supervision. I taught 5th grade for a couple years. It's one of those things that after you gain trust in the kids, you send them out and read them the riot act. Let your principal know, let your staff know. This is what's going on. This is what I'm going to be talking about. I expect you to have this expectation, and this expectation. If you don't run it, then maybe you take it away from the next time. Or you let them know, hey, we're going to do this once. If we do it, if you ruin it, we're not going to do it again. If you do a great job with it, maybe we could do it again. So some of the ideas I've done with Goose Chase. Our new teacher induction is done because we have teachers that come from all over. So they took a 3-hour tour of Hanover, Pennsylvania. But they have to go interview Southwestern graduates and find out what's great about Southwestern. They have to go to businesses and find out what they do there. Those types of things. Teacher in service, team bonding. I did one on text features where I took 4th graders into the library and they had to look at all the different text features. And they snapped images of it. Math facts, geometric shapes. You saw the one set of kids were working on geometric shapes. That was there. We're having a family science night that we do district-wide for our elementary. And we have different stations. And so part of it is they're going to come in and they're going to do a Goose Chase and submit all their different stations so that the parents can be a part of it. Paraprofessional training, finance review, animal adaptation. Our varsity baseball coach did a season-long Goose Chase. Our varsity baseball coach. He wanted the kids to go home and get more swings in. If it was a crummy day outside and they had tees to do that, practice different types of things. So he incorporated it into a season.
Once the game is open, can you add questions as you
go? Yep. I did this for my son's 12th birthday. We did it in the house. Go ahead.
Can you set it up so that even if one person accomplishes a mission, other teams can still do that mission, or is it always that it's done, it's done? I'm sorry, it's a question.
It's only for your particular team. So once your team submits that, then your team's submitting. And that's what remember I said in the beginning, we could go and we could partner up and we could get together as a team. So that's how we would normally have done it.
If for like the baseball team, each player could be their own team,
correct.
Right?
They were instead of being a team, he set it up as individuals.
Gotcha.
So some of the ideas. You could do it for an intro to a unit. You could have it for a review. A great idea for a field trip. Because 9 times out of 10 you take parents on field trips. Parents have their cell phones if you have the younger kids. You explain that you want them to get the app. Most of the time we go to the same place year after year, so we're familiar with it. So we can set that up beforehand, or we go to the actual place. I go and I'm setting up Goose Chases. I take my notes app and I walk around the facility and I start to write everything down. I have not figured, I'm so much more comfortable doing it on my computer than I am setting up the actual game on my device. And I don't even know if you can actually do it on your device. But so much easier to do it on the computer. So I walk around, I put everything in my notes, and then I come back and I actually put it in there. Questions do you have?
Can you set it up so different teams have different missions? Like, can you differentiate like that?
No. If you have, you can set up, I shouldn't say that. If you have the Educator Plus account, you can run multiple games, and then they're running, and then they have different missions. Yep, I'm gonna dive into it in a second.
Is there a way for the kids to see how much time's left besides email saying when it's left? Like, is there a way for them to know how much time's left?
I think in the app it actually showed you somewhere on the bottom section. Question.
You said it was 50 hours. Is that for a teacher or can the school buy it? How did you
50 per teacher. Yeah. Yes. So I'm on the Goose Chase.
What if students don't have access to like they use their Chromebooks, they use their laptops, and have everything that they would normally do using that?
The question is, if they don't have a device, if they don't have a phone or an iPad, can they use it? I'm going to say this very, very quietly. Certain Chromebooks, if you can get to the Chrome store, they have the app. Now, my biggest fear with this is kids walking around with Chromebooks. They trip or they slip and they drop their Chromebook. I know in our district we have the flip Chromebooks. That's $150 per stream when those suckers crack. I don't want to be the one saying that, oh yeah, I told everybody to go out on the Goose Chase and go on there with a Chromebook.
But for the instance of like a cyber student, like they're not getting up, I mean they might be going up around their house and using their cell phone, that sounds cool. But if they didn't have access to that, could we transform and like tweak what we just did, and they could, instead of using their cell phone to take the selfie and upload right in through the app, could they screenshot something or take a picture from their file and their pictures on their desktop and upload it?
It always has to be, somebody figured that out. So you can't take a picture from your camera roll and then submit it. It has to be within the app.
Okay, so, and what if they joined through the website, not the app?
You can't, no.
So they have to use the app. Okay.
So if we play a game, if other teachers use the game.
Yep, I'm going to show you that right now. So to create a game, you're going to upload the image, very easy. You're going to give it a name, you're going to give it a description, and then a location, and you're going to come down here and hit save. So far, so good, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to go into my games. I'm going to come into Pete and C, and I'm going to go to missions. So I'm still creating this game. The top here is my current mission list. Once I start creating more games, I have missions in here that I've previously used, so I can reuse things that I used previously. There's also something called a mission bank. The one where you had to do an upside down push-up, I didn't create that one. Goose Chase created it. I just added it because I stole it from them because they're kind. And they're coming up with more and more missions that are there. The 10, did I put in there the 10 business cards?
Yes.
That one I didn't create. That one was there. It was there. So if I wanted one of those, all I'd have to do is hit add. And then it's taken there, and now I come back here to my mission list, and it's on my mission. Here are my previous missions. So I can select. So this is one I did after school for teacher in service. I can say I want to do this, and I want to add this mission if I wanted to.
And it changed for the teams on the fly as well. So like your baseball coach could, throughout the season, add missions.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. The other nice part, you can see your total point values over here. So these are the point values that I had. These are the missions that I had. So I had 21 total missions, and I had one that was 1,000 points. I had 4 that were 600 points. So if you want to plan accordingly to that, you have that there.
I mean, there's a good number to go for like a half an hour session, or
no.
Just what you figure out would be good for your kids.
Teams, you also have individual players. What you could also do is I could have not had teams on there, and you could have created teams with a group of 4 people. The problem there is if Chris creates his team and 3 other people join him, Chris has a code that everybody else has to try and figure, and Chris has to give them. I could have created codes or special passwords for each of the kids, each of the groups if I wanted to. So that's another option that's in there. To share a mission. So I'm going to go to my games. Do you see right here, it's not there, but when you hover over, there's a gear there. Right here it says share game. So I have to enable sharing, and then I can put somebody's email address in, or I can copy this link and email it to them. They click on it, and boom, it's in their library. If you are a middle school or high school teacher, and you have period 1, you have prep period 2, but then you have 3 and 4, you don't want to use the same mission because it's different classes and different leaderboards. So what you have to do is you have to come in here and you have to duplicate the game. So then you want to duplicate the game, and you might want to give it a different name. Period 7, Mr. Whitmer. Period 7, biology, so the kids know exactly what it is that they're looking for. So that's another thing to be thinking about. So once you're ready to run the game, if I look at this one here, I go to start and stop. I'm going to say 10 days, and I hit start game. And then it automatically starts.
You could run it over the weekend.
You could. You could run it over the weekend. You could run it for a snow day. You could do all kinds of things. Your minds are starting to run, and I love it. No. So here's the Goose Chase EDU program part. So for free, you have unlimited games, unlimited classrooms. You have one live game. So we ran one live game right now. Up to 5 teams that you can do. Here's the Educator Plus account. So I have 10 teams here. I have unlimited classes, unlimited games. It's $50 a year. Yep, it's well worth it. It's well worth it. And then you have the Educator Premier, and then you have Get in Touch. This is a Canadian-based company, a very, very small company. If you're going to ISTE, they're actually going to be at ISTE, and we're actually going to do a goose chase throughout the great city of Philadelphia.
So, if we get the educator base, we just did, that's just worked out that. You can only get
one live game at a time. You can create as many games as you want, but you can only run one live at a time.
The Educator Plus, is that licensed, is you licensed for the whole school or just one individual?
Just you. Just you. So you have to ask yourselves how your student's going to join. Is it going to be by code? Are they going to search? So you have to think about that. You have to think about free reign of the classroom. I've kind of talked about this. Our high school does a great job. Kids are always out and about in the hallway. If teachers stop them, they have to explain to them we're on a goose chase for so-and-so. When we did it, I did it with first grade. It was myself being the tech coach. That first grade teacher had a paraprofessional in her room, and it was the teacher, so we broke them up into 3 groups. Parent volunteers are great options for the younger kids. So that's something you want to really think about and plan for ahead of time. Did anybody notice how long the videos could be in the submission? 15 seconds is the maximum amount of time to run the games in submission. So that's something you want to remember and think about as well. The end of this presentation there, I put just a bunch of different resources. Goose Chase actually has a blog that they put different missions in all the time. They had one at Christmas time where they had holiday fun, and they had like 3 different parts to it. They had 10 games, 10 games, 10 games. You can actually copy those games right into your bank, and then you can have them. They have some for Valentine's Day. Their blog always is giving you updates on different types of things. They are on Twitter. They're actually trying to hire somebody. They're on Facebook as well. They're trying to hire an engineer of some sort. I kind of skipped over it because I don't want to do that. But it's out there. What other questions do you have? Yeah. Yep, great question. So the question was, is there any way to save the feed? So I have submissions here. Right here, I have download all the submissions. I can download specific team, or I can download all the submissions. And what it does is it puts into a zip file, and then you just unzip those and do what you want with them. That's how I captured some of the ones that were throughout the pictures. Great question. Other questions?
Do you usually get permission from parents or ask for kids to download apps on their phone?
I tell the kids beforehand. When I was in 5th grade, I told the kids, hey, listen, download Goose Chase, it's free, bring it in, and then we can do it. If parents have questions, I would communicate that with them all the time, or I'd tell the parents ahead of time, remind, hey, by the way, I'm asking the kids to download this particular thing. Yep.
If you want this to be a certain number of days, is there a limit, like, for a long term? Like,
no, that baseball coach did 45 days, because he wanted to capture the entire season.
Are the photos and
You have access to them. They're in your account. Yep. Yep, they're nowhere else.
But in the app, it is present in my games. If I want to find other games, where am I going to find it?
You're going to go on the line and then go to Goose Chase, and they have actually other games.
Goose Chase
on the
with you?
Yep. Yep. I thank you so much. I hope that you get your kids out and get them running
I'm sure I'll see you around at some point. I'll see you later.
We go outside and turn on.
But we're not in a hurry.
I think I'm gonna do a 2:15 session. I think that might be my last one then, because my in-laws are coming over to celebrate my kiddo's birthday tonight. So I kind of want to get back and get ready for that.
What's that?
Yeah.